Heading out to check the mail. I'm expecting some seeds. I'm hoping they came today. This is kind of all of spring, or I guess just before spring feels like this. I just can't wait to see what arrives in the mail. So I guess we'll see. Anything? Doesn't look like there's any packages. Shoot, that's okay. Oh. I got cards from people. That's sweet. There's a breeze out here and it just makes my eyes start watering. I'm a pretty emotional person, but it's pretty funny. My eyes just are pouring tears. Can you even see them? It's melting my face off. So I love seeds and the magic that is seeds. This is proof of a loving God. So I just recently heard something about someone creating a 3D printer that 3D prints more 3D printers, which is fantastic, right? You think, well, if you continue to print these, then you get more and more 3D printers, and maybe they never end. The cool thing about seeds is, especially heirloom seeds, ones that will produce like themselves if they're saved, the cool thing about them is that the power is within them, right? Unlike a 3D printer that needs for us to give it power to actually run, the seed power is inside it, just kind of hidden inside, waiting to be planted. We sing in primary, faith is like a little seed. If planted, it will grow. And it's true, it will grow. I showed you some soil earlier. It's important that it's grown in good soil. If you think of the parable of the sower, we find out what happens to seeds that are grown or sowed, planted on maybe stony places or in hard ground, or that don't have strong foundations where roots can actually take hold. I love these heirloom seeds, and I felt this super urgency and desire to figure out how to save seeds for myself and to teach others how to do it as well, because this is life, right? This is food for everyone. This is beauty in flowers, and as soon as seeds are not grown out, they actually will go away. They can become extinct, and many seeds already have become extinct. And so I actually just want to show you some of the ways that nothing here is fancy. I've seen people, they save seeds in like photo boxes. In fact, my sister, she's super organized and pulls out this beautiful photo box, and I love it. Someday maybe I'll have that in each different seed packet she stores in each little plastic compartment, and it's really great. I just have a shoebox here, and I actually went through and with my Seed Time account, which I'll tell you about later, I actually put the seeds in when I wanted to actually start them. So I even wrote on them. As I got them, I wrote February is when I will start that seed. I was a little bit late because I got Seed Time later, but everything's going just fine. So I wanted to show you, so these are the seeds that I saved from last year, and I stored them in a cool, dark place in kind of a root cellar sort of vibe, and I put them in glass jars. I don't want to attract any sort of rodents or insects, and that keeps them nice for the next year. I love this company, Seed Savers Exchange. I just think they're so neat. It started because a woman named Diane Watley. She had some morning glory seeds that were her grandpa Ott's, and they had been saved from generation to generation, and she remembered these seeds that that if she grew them, then she could save a portion of them and give them to other people. And she this dawned on her that she could do this with seeds, and she created this Seed Savers Exchange. This is one of the things that I think that we need to do as a society and as a people. We need to get our hands in the dirt. We need to know about where our food comes from. We need to grow things. This is the way God set it up to be. If you look at history, if you look at maybe the Roman Empire right before it fell, the people had thought that they were too good to get their hands dirty and to grow food, and they actually became weak as a people. We can see that that's kind of what is lacking maybe now in our society, that our children, we want them to have grit and to be able to work hard and have good work ethic. But when things are so easily before them, they just are like, what? I've got it all here. And so gardening is such a cool way to teach them this principle of good work ethic, but also of understanding that God has provided everything for them, that it doesn't just magically appear in a grocery store. We live on a peninsula that in order to get to it, you have to come across a bridge or take a ferry boat. And my dad and I would have conversations when I was younger about if there was a giant earthquake, or if something happened where we were unable to get semi-trucks here to fill up the grocery stores, our food would be gone very, very quickly. And so I don't ever want to say things that would induce fear, just that God would have us be prepared as a people, as his children. And so this one is fun. I want to just show you some of the seeds that I have. So these are from a company called Pure Pollination, and they're an heirloom vegetable kit, but it's like they call it a vault. Like you would put this in your food storage, or you would keep this as if something goes wrong, I will have some seeds. They're stored in little mylar packs, and there's 40 different kinds of seeds that would help sustain life. I have seeds from a bunch of different seed companies. I have seeds from Baker Creek, Heirloom Seed Company. I also have seeds from Johnny's Selected Seeds. These are primarily grown for the Northwest area, but I know that they sell them all over the country. And they sell hybrid seeds. Those are seeds that have been crossed with another plant to make a really strong, viable plant. I'm not against hybrid seeds. I don't want anyone to think that. But I choose to try and buy seeds that are savable from year to year, because I want to learn how to do this. And so I have seeds from Johnny's, I have seeds from Baker Creek, I have seeds from, this was fun. These are my flower seeds for the most part. I got some from different companies as well, but from Floret. They're based out of northern Washington, near Mount Vernon, like Bellingham area. And so pretty awesome. Yeah, Mount Vernon, that's where they're from. I also have, this is a giant seed packet of marigold, and it's called Sparky Mix, and it's from Urban Farmer. And marigolds are pretty awesome. I've saved marigold seeds forever. I remember when my grandmother showed me that I could take, when I was deadheading marigolds in her potted plants, that I could take one of the dried ones, and she opened it up and showed me all the seeds inside that could be saved and grown again the next year. So let's see, I know I have some other companies. This is from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, and this is Pennsylvania buttered flavored popcorn. I think it's butter flavored when you just grow it, or do you actually have to put the butter on it? And then I know, let's see, I think I mentioned Seed Savers Exchange already. And then I just have some from the store as well that are hybrid seeds. Some of the seeds from High Mowing. Did I mention High Mowing? High Mowing is an organic seed company. This is Who Gets Kissed sweet corn. And I got, let's see how many ounces. This is half a pound of this sweet corn. And it's just, I'm excited to grow all these things out. I really do not have a garden to grow in. There's a small little plot in the back of this home that we're renting, but there's not really, there's not fencing that keeps deer out. We really have like herds of deer that come through here. So one thing that's really fun is I'm hoping to share my seeds and my starts with all my friends, and that they can grow things in their garden and save a portion of the seeds, and then we will be able to share them amongst ourselves. In the scriptures, seeds are mentioned so often. In fact, that's how I came up with the name. So Kind Seeds is actually the acronym Seeds of Every Kind. In the Bible, in Genesis, when the earth was being created, God talked about how in the Garden of Eden that there were seeds that produced after their own kind. You can see that in the forest, that little trees and things will sprout up. They're almost like a little Eden that just is doing its own thing. And then out here where we're trying to till the earth and grow things, it's changed. It's not so much like the Garden of Eden. We are having to weed and really maybe add things to the soil to make them grow things better, and food that has like nutrients in it. But this is all, it's been from the beginning. Seeds. Our first parents were placed in a garden and were taught this awesome thing, and they were taught about God in doing it. And so I just challenge you all to get in the garden, figure out, even if you don't have a space, if you're in an apartment, grow something in a pot, grow something and tend it and care for it, and watch that miracle happen before your eyes. It's amazing. And don't give up if you fail. Sometimes you forget to water things and something dies. It's okay. Don't give up. Start again. So the Seeds of Every Kind is actually from the Book of Mormon, where Lehi and his family, Sariah and Laman and Lemuel and Nephi, they were all leaving Jerusalem, and they gathered their things together, and one of the things they mentioned that they brought were seeds of every kind. And you can imagine that was their hope for wherever they would travel to, this promised land, that they would travel to it and they would be able to grow the food and the flowers and the things that they were familiar with and that they loved. And so seeds are amazing, and they are mentioned in scripture. They are part of God's plan. They're amazing. So I invite you to think about, how far away are you from a garden and from seeds and from participating in this miracle of continuing life of beautiful things and life of food, but life of people because of those seeds. And yeah, I invite you to think about that. I would love for you to share in the comments what seeds you love to plant and grow, and you can send me questions that you have about soil or about seeds. I don't know everything about everything, but I know the information is out there, and I don't pretend to know everything. But I do know that, man, the getting your hands in the dirt and the connecting with God through growing things, feeling his love and feeling this hope and this faith grow as you see his ways and his patterns is real. I know that. So I'm getting ready today to start some seeds, and I am going to use this small wheelbarrow, and this is a screen for our outdoor little fire pit, and I'm using it to sift the soil to make sure that our seeds can start in really fine soil. It'll take out all the big chunks. I'll show you what that looks like. Once I've sifted it, I'm going to move it into this bin. We'll add some water to it. And then we're going to use our soil blocks to make soil blocks. It just feels really good to get your hands in the soil after a long winter. So I'm just getting this soil wet enough that it's going to stick together nicely to make soil blocks. And you don't want it to get too wet, like become soupy, but it can't be dry because then it will, of course, just crumble. So we just want to get just the right amount of moisture in here. So I just mix it up. Soil is the foundation of our plants and our seeds, and so it's super important that it's good, soil. This is what it's like. It's like feeding a baby. Like, you want to give them the best things to help them start out and grow and be strong. Same with our seeds. Dirt and soil are not the same thing. Like this dirt that's out here, things will grow in it, but it's not super fertile, and it's actually pretty compacted. And so this soil has all different nutrients in it that are going to be super helpful to our baby plant. I think that's enough for now. I'll turn that off. We'll stir the rest of that in. These soil block makers are really neat. So you'll see right down here, I have actual like planters that actually have the different holes to plant in. But soil blocks are awesome because they make transplanting super easy. You can just grab this whole soil block. You don't have to like squeeze it out of the, plus I think it's just probably environmentally friendly. You can do this over and over again. So I'll do a test run with my soil blocker. You can see And these are going to be 4 different blocks. And we're going to scoop into here and rub it up the side. And then we're going to, I'm just going to use this box as a demonstration. So I go like this. And then I take it and I use the side to kind of compact it in there tight. And then I come to here, move my knife, and I lift up. And see, we're left with this. You can see there's a little small hole to put our seeds in. You can see right in here, you can change these out to make big, deeper, or even smaller holes for the seeds. So I'll just do that. I'll continue to fill up this container. A cardboard box is not really ideal. The bottom will get wet and rot out, so I put the cardboard box inside something that's more solid. You can see that one's a little bit dry, so I'll just want to make sure that the water is mixed in really well. So you can see once I plant the seeds in here, they will start to take root and they will fill up this block. And then I'll just be able to take that whole block and either transplant it to a bigger block. See, I have these bigger blocks here. I could put that in like maybe a 4-inch block. Or I could just immediately like direct sow this or transplant this into the garden. And it's got this great root system in this block. It makes it so they don't get super root bound as well, and you're able to check the roots without having to open up and pull it out of a container. So soil blocks are pretty neat. I like them. So this is some other ways I start seeds. This is kind of more like intensive planting. I don't try and space the seeds out. I'll sprinkle them over the top of soil that I put in here. You can see this is just a croissant container from Costco. My friends actually saved some of these for me, and I saved some, and they become like a little greenhouse of sorts. I actually will punch holes in these using my utility knife. This is so that air can get in, because of course our seedlings will need air. And I do this right across the top here. And then for some containers like this, there's already holes in them, like grapes or some other fruits that they sell, so you don't need to, of course, punch holes in those. But these you do so that they can have the correct amount of air. After I actually do like a little X, and then I open them up, and I actually just take and fold so that the sharp part of the sharp corner is facing down in and not out on the top. And I just fold them over and bend them over like that. Like that. And then I turn it over and I just create some drainage holes so that the water doesn't sit and become stagnant, but there's actually just a little bit of drainage in these. We don't want it to pour out the bottom, of course. We just want it to have some some way to escape if there gets to be too much in it. And then I'll just take this and I'll fill it with soil. I actually like to, it seems sometimes a little bit overfilled. I just know that once I start putting water on it, that it will settle, and I want it to be somewhat deep so that the seeds will have a good, strong foundation to grow in. So for this, I could plant maybe my onion starts or lettuce or any of these cooler weather. These ones I actually don't put under lights. I would put this one under lights and maybe on a heating mat. But these are like a little greenhouse, and I can put them out in cooler weather. With the lid closed, as the water evaporates, it condensates on top of the lid. Here I have some of the starts for my winter sowing. You can see some of the sprouts coming up here. So this is little gem lettuce, and I planted that March 1st. So it's just starting to sprout. We're already at the 14th of March here when I'm showing you this. So it took a couple weeks, but it's been cold. It's been getting down and freezing at night. And here we have winter density romaine, again, planted March 1st. Let's see, what is this? You can see there's some just starting to sprout here. And that is my cold acre cabbage. I checked these onions. They have not yet sprouted. What else? We have collards, dwarf Siberian kale, sprouting. Let's see. I've never grown celery before, and I've heard it takes quite a bit of time for it to actually germinate. So let's see what else. These are my shallots that I just planted today on the 15th. Let's see. What do we have? Brussels sprouts. And there they are. You can see there's maybe some that haven't germinated in the front row, but I'm not giving up on them yet. And I do have more seeds that I can plant. And this is Chinese cabbage and bok choy, purple lady on the other side. It looks like my bok choy has sprouted and my Chinese cabbage has not yet. Interesting. So I just set them out here, and they experience the kind of fierce cold at night, and then they get some good sun during the day. This is actually fun. I'm creating kind of a little greenhouse for it. It is a Russian chestnut tree, and I planted a chestnut seed in there. It hasn't sprouted. I brought it back with me. So just like seeds need time to take root, this is sort of what's happening with this channel, and I just appreciate all of you for maybe having a little bit of faith in me. I stumble over my words. I don't have a script. I just I'm in the dark a little bit on how to make things right, but I'm learning as I go, and so I just so appreciate your support. If you want, someone who is interested in learning about gardening and growing seeds, and you could share this, the link to our YouTube channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much.